Scorpio. One thing I really like about you guys, because I haven't done too much on Scorpio, but we're gonna unveil that. One thing that I really enjoy about Scorpios as a Pisces is your vision and your relationship with seeing things, seeing people, and seeing beyond the veil and seeing beyond people's pretenses. Naturally, you who are born under the sign of Scorpio have a natural ability to just see things differently. So, if I was running like an agency and we were doing like a mind mapping creative project, I'd get a Scorpio to come and see things. And because of their resourcefulness, because this is another element of Scorpios, whether you are a male Scorpio, female Scorpio, whether you are rich Scorpio or broke ass Scorpio, you're still a human being. So that means you are still very much fulfilled, in my eyes, as rich energy. So, with this being said, the resourcefulness of a Scorpio is unmatched. Like, these people can look at a situation and where me, I'm having a Gemini drama. I can't do it. It's all broken. Scorpio comes in, takes a puff, observes, and says, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have you looked at it like this? And they're very, very cool and confident in how they speak. They're cool in how they speak when they're confident in who they are, which takes a process. That process is inclusive of a whole bunch of trauma. So if you're born with a Scorpio sign, you don't need me to validate the fact that you've been through a whole bunch of trauma, whether it's being raped, molested, whether it is being and there's abandonment, major abandonment issues, and also just not being seen in your family. Either you're the laat lammertjie, which is like the late lamb, or you just go missing in the family. You just feel that side. These individuals have to then, during this process of trauma, which is everybody goes through trauma. It's our ID as a human, so don't take it personal. Very important, Scorpio. Stop taking shit personal. You're too sensitive to take shit personal, and there's too much abundance of creativity, ideas, thoughts, people, things to experience. Then get yourself all caught up in thinking that the principles of taking things personal make sense. It doesn't make sense. We share the water symbol in me being Pisces, so trust me when I say, as a fellow water sign, it ain't about you. And that's why alchemy, being on your own, and understanding the confidence that molded your character out of the trauma that you went through, it's very important for you, Scorpio, to find that confidence and then realize this is your foundation from which to build, because there's a tendency for Scorpio to be flippin' passive as well. Hella passive, have all the ideas here in their head, but the momentum to execute it, the negligence to ask for help. Sometimes you ask for help, which is short term. The kind of help you need to ask for, especially when you're ready to ask for help and you have the people and the trust, because I know you are more pessimistic than optimistic, bloody Scorpio. But just hear me out. If you just learn what you learned from your trauma. Don't take it personal, but just take the character that you formulated out of it. Now that you have a foundation of who you are through the alchemy of trauma into character, you then build from this foundation. From this foundation, you start getting into the practices of asking for help in a deep way. Because remember, Scorpio, whether you like it or not, you are deep people. You can't date shallow. You can experience shallow things like go out for a drink, go out, have a fun time with the friends. You guys love your friends. You love turning up. You love having a great time. But remember, those are all experiences. Because equal to a Scorpio having a great time, there's also time where they don't want to see anybody. And that's also called a great time. Being by themselves, being very intrusive, going through that. A Cancer and a Scorpio will get along in passiveness. Not passiveness, because they get into that homebody, light the incense, listen to some beautiful music, Roy Ayers or Ayers or whatever it's called. And yeah, they just go into that fun, creative, intrusive, melancholic environment. And this is good for you. But then, like I said, we must kind of transition between the two. We mustn't stay stuck in anything. Why? Because it's important for someone like you, Scorpio. You cannot be fitted in one place and put in one box. I mean, you've seen this in school, you've seen this with studying. You all probably had moments, even in studying, even upon reflection in studying, where you realize that there's a lot more life that teaches you, or that encourages the teaching and learning aspect. And sometimes that can become very independent. You become like areas where you want to do your own independence kind of study, and that's chill. But just remember balance. Where there's optimism, you must have pessimism. Where there's pessimism, you must have optimism. Where there's fun times with friends and happy times, there's also times to alchemize, be within, and center yourself. This routine, Scorpio, is going to help one area in your life, and that's your stomach. An area where you normally really neglect, due to just Scorpio like food, man. So when they indulge, and it's a bit weird. Like, you eat a lot, guys. When you indulge ugly, dirty, deep. When you like what you like it. That creamy, ice creamy kind of vibes. Yeah, chocolate, cherries, sweet, very feminine energy that shows up in your diet. Just remember that if you do this as a guideline, your stomach gets better. Look after your gut in a nice gut health balance. So rather tea, and you a tea person, but like with no milk now, and with no sugar, just honey, because this is going to look after the stomach. Now, if you are a creative Scorpio, if you look after your stomach in not only being playful, in not only being healthy in your diet, this is going to have a knock-on effect in your creativity and also your spirituality. Creativity, spirituality, sexuality, Scorpio, all the same thing. It's all one powerful source that you have a very, very cool way of connecting to if you are present with yourself, if you are one with yourself, and you flow like migratory beings that we initially are as life's experiences go through you. And it's important for that to go through you. Don't hold on to shit. You have a tendency to like holding on to stuff, and that's why your blood clots, thin, small arteries, lack of blood flow. This is going to show up not only in the legs, but also just in the flow. And if you're not flowing in your life and you hold on to shit, look at your blood. Go check your blood out. Go see why you're the type of person that can't just give blood anyway because you're anemic, or if you give too much blood, or people can't find your veins. Blood is thin, or blood is thick, or blood is dirty. Cleanse your blood. Get into a flow routine. And if you want more like guidance, book a reading with me or join the psychic development workshop. But just make sure, if you want more in-depth detail, down to you, you can always book a session. But this much, I think, is enough for you to contemplate, listen to, because you enjoy listening at your own time and re-listening. No one must rush you, Scorpio. So listen to this, save it. Don't even comment. I don't need that. Me, you can see I'm on different vibes. Just have this sink into the place when you're ready to have it sink in, and listen nicely to what I'm saying. And when you're ready, practice and see what happens. You have nothing to lose.